quest narrative about the hero Beowulf and his fight first against Grendel, the monster, and then later on against the dragon in his older age.
An epic poem from early like Anglo-Saxon history. It's important because it developed like the epic poetry, heroic poetry, those sorts of.
The Beowulf Poem is the first poem in the English language, and it's about an epic hero, Beowulf, who fights 3 battles and ends up finding his fate in his last battle against the dragon.
Well, I do know about the Beowulf poem because I know that curricularly it has a landing here. But if I could tell you specifically what it's about, I mean there is your thematic context as well as then the poem, the literal poem, and who Beowulf was and what it represented and the conflicts between, there's several themes that go through the poem. But to get more specific than that, I couldn't do it because the last time I did Beowulf was when I was in high school, which was not very long ago, by the way. So that's about the best answer that I can give you.
Okay.
Beowulf became the ruler of the Spear Danes and was beloved by all. He had an heir, the great Halfdane, whose wisdom guided and protected the people. Halfdane had 3 sons, Haregar, Hrothgar, and Helga, and a daughter who married Onila and became queen of the Swedes. Hrothgar was such a great warrior that men were eager to fight alongside him. His army grew large.
I am going to please my people by building a meat hall, which I will name Herod, while my people can celebrate and drink till their heart's content. It will be the best of all under heaven.
I propose a toast to Almighty King Hrothgar.
Thank you all for your welcome. May God bless you. Woo!
From there, he would rule and give everything to his people, except for land and his men's lives. He brought in workmen from all over the world, and his immense and noble hall was soon completed. He named it Herod. The day was coming when hatred and murder would return to tear men apart. A demon stalked outside, as he could hardly stand the sounds of music and singing that came from Herod. The people lived in happiness until the demon began his evil work. The demon was named Grendel and lived in the swamps nearby. So in the nighttime, Grendel went to the hall to watch the men who had been drinking. He came upon them asleep, completely oblivious to the sorrow and pain that awaited them. Full of wrath, Grendel grabbed 30 men and took them back to his lair. When dawn broke, the men saw what Grendel had done. The attacks continued each night, and men could be seen fleeing the hall for safety, running to escape Grendel's hatred. The great hall soon stood empty. For 12 years, Hrothgar suffered as a result of Grendel's attacks. The whole world hears of Grendel's rage.
Grendel, I will give you whatever the sum of gold and treasure as you wish, but you have to promise to leave the land and never to come back. I refuse.
Hrothgar was heartbroken. His advisors all offered ideas of how to best deal with Grendel. They even made offerings to pagan gods and asked devils to come to their aid. That was how little hope they had left. Grendel's attacks were talked about in the nearby kingdom of the Geats. Gaelic, the ruler of the Geats, had a great warrior in his command, a nobleman who was the bravest man alive, and his name was Beowulf. He decides to help Hrothgar for multiple reasons. Hrothgar sheltered Beowulf's dad during a deadly feud, but he also wants to gather treasures for his king, Gaelic, and also to have a better reputation.
I want revenge for my son Grendel, because Beowulf killed him. I'm gonna go back and get his claw. And I'll go back to my lair. I hope nobody follows me.
Come, my men. I will follow her trail and swim underwater to her.
He swims into the lair and tries to slay her with a sword, but fails. He finds a magical sword and slices her through her neck. He sees a treasure there and leaves it behind, just taking her sliced head. Beowulf's fame spreads, and he returns home to Geatland laden with its treasure for his king, Hygelac. Beowulf later becomes the king of the Geats and rules for 50 years with nothing but peace. A dragon then begins to pose a threat to Geatland. Beowulf and his servant Wiglaf set off on a journey to fight the dragon and defeat it. Beowulf succeeds in slaying the dragon, but dies in the process.